our next challenge is entitled Last Digit Ultimate. And I think I'm going to take you right to example 2 because the instructions on this one come up a little bit short and they're not accurate. So the first time I did it, I followed the instructions as printed here and it comes up a little short. So I just want to make it clear what you need to do. The basic idea is that you're passed 3 integer parameters and you're going to multiply the first 2 together and ensure that the last digit is equal to the last digit of the third parameter. So let's go to example 2 to see what I mean. So consider you have 55 and 226. So you're going to take the 5, the trailing 5 off of 55, you're going to take the 6 off of 226, and you're going to multiply those together. 5 by 6 is 30. But you actually need to take the last digit of the product as well, which is the part that they omitted. So you come up with 0, and you compare that to the last number in the third argument, which is also a 0, and so you get true. Feel free to look through the other examples. It works out nice here where you've got the 5 from 25, the 1 from 21. You multiply 5 by 1 and get 5. It's a single digit, so there are no problems. And that's equal to the 5 and 125. Finally, your third example, you grab the 2 and the 5, you multiply those together and it makes 10. And you take the last digit of 10, which is a 0. You compare it to 2, which is the last digit in the third parameter, and they're not equal, so you return false. The notes, again, they're telling you that you can take straight up x times y, and you can't, because we saw that 5 by 6 example equals 30, and 30 is not equal to 0, so this just comes out wrong if you follow the instructions exactly as printed here. So we'll just keep in mind what they actually mean when you do this. So head over to code, and please pause and take a crack at it. Start back up when you're ready. Alright, I'm going to make a little helper method. It's static because it has nothing to do with objects of the program class. And I'm going to call it last digit. And it's going to take any number as input because this is a recurring theme, right? Basically every number that we're dealing with, we're grabbing the last digit of it. So I'm just going to make this into its own method. This little helper method here. We're going to call it often. And to do this, if you remember from a previous challenge, I don't recall which one it was, but we sort of had to pull the last digit out of a number as we were working with it. And we did that for large numbers and kept taking the end off. And there was a way we did that. And we used the modulo operator. So we can say return num modulo 10, right? And that will strip the last digit. So consider the integer 123. If you run modulo 10 on it, you get 12 with a remainder of 3. And remember that modulo returns the remainder only, so you get that 3. And then you see how that gives you the last digit. So yeah, we'll wrap that up in this last digit method, and then we can pretty easily solve the problem at hand. Remember they said to return last digit A times last digit B is equal to, remember, we're checking for equality, we're not doing assignment. 1 equal sign is assignment, we want double for comparison. Last digit C. And this will kind of work, but remember that 5 and 6 example where we got 30, so this would have 30 is equal to, imagine some large number with a 0 at the end, and it'll fail when it should pass. So I can run this to show you that it fails and it comes up a little short. Oh, we have an error. On line 7. Oh, yep. I think I did this same thing in a recent video. So pause it if you'd like, find what I did wrong, And sure enough, I should give a return type. I'm saying I'm returning something and I didn't even have a void in there, so. I've noticed once I make mistakes, I have a tendency to repeat them. You kind of get in the habit of doing things. Okay, so yeah, notice we get these kind of, yeah, we had one test pass where it worked out, where the multiplication didn't span more than one digit, but sure enough, in these other ones, no dice. So, and if you recall from their instructions, they said you were actually taking the last digit of the multiplication. So let's add that as well. Last digit, and then we can just put parentheses around this product. And then we're taking the last digits, multiplying them, and then making sure we're grabbing the last digit of that product. And I think this should clean things up. There we go, happy sounds. So yeah, I mean, the hardest part of this one is probably understanding what they meant, but that's part of the business too, right? You get bad instructions, inconsistent instructions. You do what people tell you to do, and then they complain about the result. When you actually do what you were told to do, you're going to run into that. So maybe it was better practice than it first seemed. Anyway, hit me up with questions. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.